Hello guys, I am Asger from Løft. This is Kasper. And yesterday we asked you to ask us some questions for a Q&A, which we will answer now. It was not a lot of time, but I think there came a good amount of questions. So we haven't seen them yet, so we'll just see what you have asked and try to answer as good as we can. The first one here is, any plans for any type of accessories, bags, towels, water bottles, etc.?
Actually, I spoke to Nils earlier today, and we are kind of maybe thinking about doing something along those lines. We do not know too much yet, but maybe it has something to do with bags. But our
I was actually excited because I've been on the factory all day.
You didn't hear it?
No.
I don't think we should reveal too much about the details, but it will be some kind of collaboration maybe. But what I can say is that
I'm super excited.
The reason why I'm not going to talk too much about it is because that's not really our first priority. It is exciting, but the most important thing for us right now to focus on is to get more discs in our lineup. So before we really gonna consider working towards any of these accessories, we need to have more discs in our bag, more of the Løft discs. And I don't know if you agree with that.
I think it sounds great. Yeah, let's do it. Super exciting. Next one. What made you create a brand?
Maybe you should.
Yeah. I just think we agreed that we had a good combination of skills to make a disc golf company, and we're just huge disc golf fans, and so it just sort of was natural, and it just happened.
Yeah, and actually it was kind of fun because Asger and Nils, they developed originally the flight path simulator before we started the company. And our original plan was actually to utilize this flight path simulator to help other disc golf manufacturers design discs. But then when we actually finished the simulator, we just thought, why not use it ourselves?
Exactly.
And that's how we actually started the Løft Discs brand, by utilizing the flight path simulator to create our own first disc, which was hydrogen. A very straight putter.
That was a much better answer than mine. Next one. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, thank you.
There's an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark, but not a question mark. So I don't think there's too much to say.
Oh, I really like the next one. Sorry, but is silicon the material or a new loft mold?
Yeah. That's quite fun.
It's a surprise. Oh, it's not made of silicon. It's made of plastic.
Yeah, but actually, when we talk to our tool maker, some kind of confusion actually can happen, because when we say we need the mold for Bohrium is not really a stable element of the. Of the element, what's it called? Table of elements.
We would like a mold for Bohrium. Bohrium mold.
A Bohrium mold is not something you can actually make. So
it's
sometimes,
radioactive.
It's radioactive. So sometimes these names for our discs, because we take the elements, is actually can be confusing when we have to communicate it to our collaborators.
Yeah, but if you didn't know, we just got a new disc PDGA approved, so that's super awesome. We are super stoked about it, and we will try to get it out there as soon as possible. We can't quite say yet when it will be out there, but the name will be Silicon. How do I get my hands on your driver?
Right now, it's on the way out into the hands of all the people who backed the Kickstarter campaign and all the people who pre-ordered when we had the pre-order webshop open. But right now you cannot order Bohrium. But when everything is sent out, you will be able to order Bohrium, both from our own website, but also from all of the other retailers around the different countries.
Yeah. And it all comes down to how fast we can ship it out to all our wholesale customers, web shops and such. And we can just say we hope to do it as soon as possible. So so we can't say much more right now.
But keep in touch on social media, and we will provide you with updates along the way.
Next one. Would you ever license your flight simulator to a game, indoor disc golf company, or indoor disc golf company? That we have actually talked about it, and I actually think there is a business model in doing so. I just think, as you said, with accessories, it's not a priority right now because we have our hands full with so much else making discs, and it just if we were to do so, it would take a lot of development still to make it such that you can actually license some software. I mean, that would be some development and research for us to be able to do that.
Also, even though I think it's very interesting to do projects like this, we also have a vision of providing the public with access to our flight path simulator. Yeah. So I think we would do that first. If anything, we would try to make an online version of the simulator for all of you guys to try it out first.
I should maybe add that we are working on it, making an online version of the simulator.
Yeah.
Next question: when is Sporium arriving? We made an update about this on our Kickstarter campaign, and I think it was last week. They will be arriving this week. The first ones will be arriving already this week, but probably not if you live in the United States. Then it will be next week. But we started shipping this week, and in the background, I don't know if you can see it, we have a whole bunch of packages over there ready to ship. So we plan to ship the first 700 or so this week, maybe 500, and another 1,000 next week, and the rest of the orders the week after that. And if you live in the United States, you should probably allow for 1 week of transportation time, maybe more. Okay, there's another question here. What is the next element we are looking at?
I think we already answered that one. It's for now it's silicon, but we are also working on the next one after that. But I don't think we actually determined on an element yet. So we have to talk a bit more about that ourselves first.
I actually think we are. I just don't want to tell you yet.
You don't want to tell it? I don't know it.
You don't?
Then you spoke to Niels about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's a surprise for me as well. Maybe he can disclose it to me after we finish the recording.
If Løft gets big enough, would you add a US manufacturing location?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't even think any of the big ones has one both in Europe and
no.
USA.
But it says if Løft gets big enough.
Big enough, yeah.
How large is that?
Yeah, that's quite big.
Yeah, but I think I would be more interested in having a shipping hub.
Yeah, a shipping hub would definitely be something.
Yeah, because there's also a lot of stuff going on when you're manufacturing discs. It seems so simple. You just have these round plates, and it should be very simple, but it's really not. There are a lot of different details, and mistakes can happen, and they are happening all the time.
Especially because of the material.
Yeah,
the material is such a nightmare to mold in.
So it's very, very valuable to be close to the production, and having a US manufacturing site would, of course, put us a lot further away from it. So I think, but of course, big enough that it's if we get very
big.
huge, then maybe one of us can move over there.
I think I would say no.
Still no?
Yeah, I think so. I think all the production should be at one place.
Okay.
And then you can ship it around. I think that's
even if one of us move to the US to oversee it.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. It wouldn't make sense to have 2 moles of hydrogen, for instance, would it?
No, but there would be some benefits in the logistics.
Yes. And customs.
But maybe a shipping hub could do much of that anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. A lot has to happen before that becomes relevant anyway.
Definitely. Okay, next one. Any plans for mid-range or fairway driver? I'm super excited to see what you guys will make in the future. I think I will just answer this very quickly. Yes, we have plans.
Yeah, for a mid-range and a fairway driver.
Yeah. Next one. Are Kickstarters getting some kind of surprise to reward their patience? Can't wait. I don't think it depends on if you have read our updates, but we are doing a little extra compared to what we promised, and that is back attacks and stickers. Yeah, a little bit extra.
But besides that, there's not really anything extra. Kickstarters are very unpredictable, and actually a lot of Kickstarters you will have to wait to get the rewards for a year or more. So even though we are delayed, and we are very sorry to be this delayed, we hope to actually have shipped everything out 1 month ago. But that unfortunately didn't happen. We couldn't get the materials in time. There are a lot of supply chain delays all over, so plastic is almost impossible to get your hands on. Also, the next delivery we already ordered now to actually to not get into this situation again. But already right now it's more than 6 months before we can have the next batch.
Yeah.
The delays are very long right now.
Yeah.
But we are very much appreciating your patience, and it means a lot to us that you are this patient and that you backed the Kickstarter.
Definitely.
So we are very happy about that.
The next one is, I am making my own hard rubber silicone putter.
Silicone?
Any tips of the journey of making a disc? I think, what can I say? The parting line matters. So the parting line is where the air would be separated by the disc when it flies into the wind. Higher parting line means more overstable, and lower parting line means less overstable. So that could maybe help if you have a goal of the stability. Otherwise, I haven't tried molding in silicon, so I can't really help much in that regard. But
do you know how heavy it is? To me, it seems like it might be
too light.
A bit too light.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
I think actually you're right. I think its density is around 1 or so, but I'm not sure. The plastic we use is a bit higher density, maybe 1.2. So you might want to consider that your putter would probably be bigger in its volume. So you have to think about where to put the material. Maybe in the flight plate, maybe make a thicker flight plate, or make it more bulky in the rim.
But I think it's a good idea, at least for prototypes. So maybe if you're watching this video, please write a comment where you tell us what you are using to make a mold, because
Yeah, it's
because it's a good idea.
Yeah. And maybe we're just completely wrong about the density.
Yeah. We're just guessing here.
Yeah. Next one is how did you make your own material for your disc? Lots of trial and error? Question mark. Yes. Lots of trial and error.
Yeah.
So we are not compounding our own plastic for our discs, at least not from the beginning. We get some plastic material which we have tested earlier, and we have tested a lot of different plastic materials, and some of them are just good to go to put into the mold. And for instance, the alpha solid is pretty much as we get it from the manufacturer. And the beta solid is we are adding some different materials to make our own blend to make both the stiffness and the weight optimal.
But it is very hard to get the right plastics, because even though sometimes the plastic can have exactly the same name, but then one batch can be a bit more stiff than the other batch. So it is a very much trial and error kind of thing.
Yeah. Next question is, what material do you use when making prototypes? We have made prototypes in 3 different ways, I think. We started with some really hard plastic 3D printing on the factory, where we also mold the discs. And then we got another supplier who had polyurethane, where they molded polyurethane and CNC cut from a block of polyurethane. And now we are using a TPU-based 3D printing prototype we get from another company. So yeah, I think that's definitely the best to 3D print TPU. But it's also really hard.
And not cheap.
And expensive, yeah. Next question is, how do you get your molds and how much does it cost you? We get the molds from a factory in Jutland. So we do not make them ourselves, other than just sending them the models.
Yeah, we draw the models in 3D,
Yeah.
and then we send the models to them, and then they invert the model to create the mold.
Exactly. And how much does it cost? I think we will skip that part. Okay, next question. Is a new plastic in the works? I think I would say yes.
Yeah. But
I mean, we have obviously what we call gamma solid, which is our glow plastic. It's basically just the same as alpha solid with the glow in it. But so I don't think it's fair to say that it's an entirely new plastic. But what I am thinking about is that we will probably soon try to grind something of some of our scrap up and try to mold in that, and that would be some sort of eco plastic line.
And we also talked about maybe experimenting with creating some very soft discs.
Yes.
Maybe instead of doing the solid line, then trying to make a fluid line.
Isn't that a secret?
Maybe. Maybe we could just cut it out. That was all for today. Thank you for all of your great questions. If you have more questions, please leave a comment below this video. We are looking very much forward to shipping your Bohrium discs, and one more time, thank you for your patience. We are Løft Discs. Have a good one.